As a professional shill tuber, when I'm sent a lens to review, I review it with all my heart. I know no other way. 7 Artisans has sent me their 85mm 1.8. On paper, it sounded like it had potential for some pop factor. It's a 10-element design, pretty lightweight, cheap budget option, but could it be like what you're witnessing now with the 85mm 1.2 EF lens, adapted with a Fringer to a Nikon with red color sign? Do you have what it takes, little fella?
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Nikon Z6 III with the Canon EF 85mm 1.2 Mark I, adapted with a Fringer adapter. Fringin' good stuff. So autofocus could be a little misbehavey, is the verb, but the pop factor alone sells itself. So initial impression, 7 Artisan, 85mm 1.8. The clicky thing is not clicky at all. There's no way to click it. So aperture ring, it's a smooth one. I'm not a huge fan of that. I prefer the clicks, but it's not a deal breaker. It feels kind of cheap. It's like a strange plastic. It's like you have a choice between plastics to use, and that's the cheapest feeling one that you could have used for no benefit. Manual focus ring feels fairly smooth and decent. Lens hood, little ghetto. It's shaking a little bit. It's not like on there forever. So what I want to see, is this a viable option for slow motion street videography? It's pretty discreet. See if it keeps up with autofocus, because I've noticed like Sony's perfection if you have a Zeiss or a Sony lens. Like they're really remarkable for that. Like I can just point at anything, it picks the person I want, the exact person, and it just follows it. And I'm happy with the results. But when I put a third-party lens on, it's like little second guessy is the second verb that we will use. Let's switch to it. Is it going to be this level? I mean, come on now. It could. Okay, we've noticed some changes here. Sony clinical alien pokey finger-like color science has reemerged. We were on a nice, pleasing Nikon RED collaboration, vintage tones everywhere, but now, okay, we're back in the real world. Aliens, like, control us, and they touch us, and they feed us, sometimes. That's fine. Okay, so like we're a third-party thing now. It's a 7 Artisan. It's a 10 element. That's not bad. 1.8. Okay, it's not a 1.2. The Tony Ball's back there. If we're being real, little side by side. Okay, yeah, you might look better. If it was in focus, it might not even been. So like we could be winning here. Maybe we're sharper and you prefer that. A lot of YouTubers like the crispness. They're all into the Sigma glass and perfection is their world. Not my thing. We'll do a proper autofocus test outside, because in here, it's like, I have my one light, and if I start moving, I get out of the light, and then I turn on my lamp. It's a slightly different color. Tony balls. The white balance has ruined our lives, but it's a valid test. The light switch test. I invented it. Just as a side bonus test, we have my key light here. I have a little tube light over here. I'll turn it off. You can see what it was doing. Just a little, it's kind of behind me. It's like directly in line with my ear. That was kind of dumb. But what if, too much? Too much? Is it too dramatic for you? Are you, you're in a movie, aren't you? Oh boy. Do you have popcorn? It's hard to digest. I'll be honest with you, I usually end up selling lenses like this just because I shoot for perfection. I've seen what lenses can do, so I'm always like Zeiss, Leica, Fuji, Nikkor, Canon EF lenses. It's like that excites me. But if I just had like $400, and I'm like, I need a lens that blurs the background a bit, it's sharp enough. Okay, that level-tiered human being can go for something like a 7 Artisans. You get your little hair light back there. Okay, 7 Artisans, 85mm 1.8. Here's the closest focusing distance to that light. Again, we have a manual focus in the opposite direction thing for some reason. Don't know why that is. I'm used to one way. It's a one-way street on that one. Now we're backing up for a Tony test. Tony balls looking pretty good. Pretty good Tony balls over there. Some nice swirly ones. That usually is a good sign of 3D pop abilities. My Zeiss 55mm f1.8 has that. Ow, I backed into a dresser. Oh, that hurt so much. I can't continue with the test, but in the corners, that's what they do. Wide center. Wow. And here's a Sunstar test. I really need to find a better way to do this because it sucks, but Tony 16, ISO 12800. Thank you, Sony Technology. All right, let's go test it for slow motion street videography and see if it has 3D pop outside with full body shots in a scenic scenario.
When I look her in the eyes, I wonder if she's surprised or knows that I wanna hide. I like hiding, I have to panhandle with candles in my hands. Why do people look at me like I'm a mammal? I'm not an animal, I'm wearing sandals. Fanboy, you rest in peace, I'm out of ammo. Soy boy, you eat too much corn. While you watch porn, you're ordinary, like normal people. You're a trend-hopping sheep, but the sheep go sleepless. The meek, meatless. Your minimalistic approach to sinister thoughts are criminal, but your technique is limited. Sometimes we fall behind all the time, all the time. But we will climb from behind. All will rise just in time. All the time. Your critic is mythical, a symbolical hypocrite. Your phantom is insignificant. You're a ritualistic intimate, in need of assistance, but keeping its distance. You could use some practice while you acting like a baby on a California king mattress. Get back to when you acted like you never lacked and had to pack a bunch of backups as distractions. What's your inner purpose? Who designed
Not bad. Okay, so that was an interesting experiment. The lens, it was okay. It had some moments. It was not the fastest autofocusing. I missed quite a bit of shots, if I'm being honest with you, that were just completely out of focus. Frame nice, good moments too. We'll never get those back. But I learned a lot doing that. Taking that 85mm out, because I was debating the Zeiss Batis 85mm 1.8. We're testing autofocus and 3D pop right now. And I don't think that's your focal length. If you want to just film people, it's too tight. The odd time, it's like, wow, that compression, that's magical. It's good, it has its moments, but honestly, I've done that a lot now. I think 35 to 55. That Zeiss 55 is a sweet length for that type of shot. But hot damn, the 85, I don't know about that. And then you do a third party like 7 Artisans. We're also using their True to Life ND, newly acquired by us. Is it true to life? If I was to use a Marcus Pix patented piece of white paper that you crumple and put in your pocket, are we true to life type of thing right now? I think so. So it's a variable, has a little pin on the thing, and it nicely comes with an 86mm lens cap for the front. Like most ND filters do not come with that, and you're left with like, what the hell do I cover this thing with? I mean, it's no Peter McKinnon solution with his nice little rubberized thing that also like is one package. That was cool. It's a decent little lens though. The swirly tonne coupled with autofocus. For the most part, it works. It's just Street videography, that's a strange genre. It's just never going to do it. It's a decent little lens for like a budget option. 7 Artisans. It autofocuses sometimes. Like pretty good for most situations. If you really challenge it, you could get it to screw up. It might have some pop. Are we seeing any pop factor? Because I do believe the TT Artisan, they're not the same company. Very artisan-like, but one's 7, one's TT. Does TT look like a 7? Kinda. 2 7s. I don't know. Is there some backdoor deals going on? Maybe. But the TT Artisan 75mm Tony 2, very similar to this 85 1.8. You'll get slightly more background blur here. Maybe more pop on the TT. Pretty good. It's not bad. If like you owned this, would you really want that Zeiss Batis? Has a little bit of stave in it. Would it even sync? But if you're thinking, oh, I want an 85 1.2 to blur out the background, it's gone. Like, what are you doing? 85, like, do you need that? Zeiss 135 is a 2.8, and that'll still oblivion your background. I mean, I don't know that it's replacing my Canon EF 85mm 1.2 anytime soon. Be real with yourself, but for a lightweight option, the 75mm is lighter. Just throwing that out there, but you could do worse. It's pretty sharp, might have some pop. Autofocus is questionable at best, but it's available through my affiliate links. And 3D pop is that way, and I'm gonna go find it, if you don't mind. Bitcoin floats. Oh, the autofocus still has me. I know it does. I'm sure of it. That's poison ivy. All right, we are leaving. Lens reviewed. I'm coming back. It could still have me. I could be in the frame. There's some pop. Come on. I'm staying framed properly.